everyone, and welcome to another episode of After the Trump, the show that recaps the hit series, The Trump Show. I am your host, Daniel O'Brien.
Cody Johnston.
Katie Stoll.
Tom Ryman.
Guys, Flynn Ghazi.
Flynn Ghazi.
What an exciting game changer of an episode. We had our first departure from the administration. Just to recap, last season, the Obama character imposed a bunch of sanctions on Russia during the Crimea subplot, and then again at the end of the season when we found out that Russia was hacking the election. Now, episode 1 of this season, we saw the Flynn character on the phone talking to Russia. I didn't have Flynn in my pool.
No.
I don't know you guys.
Nobody had Flynn in his pool.
It seemed like anyone should be fired. But I really thought it was going to be like Littlefinger in Game of Thrones, where
Right.
he's just this creepy guy who pops up every once in a while, does some weird nonsense, and the whole time you're thinking, what's this guy up to? What's he
Right.
doing?
What's he doing in the shadows
What's
over
his
there?
end game?
Bandit
Right.
is Littlefinger.
Bandit is Littlefinger. I, for one, just really appreciated seeing a character have consequences for his actions.
Right.
We really needed it.
Yeah,
and,
I mean, the show needed to do that.
Exactly.
We needed to prove that, Walking Dead, you need to kill Dale or something like that.
Right.
You need to prove that anyone can go.
Untouchable, right?
Everyone was
Everybody
untouchable. They could do whatever they want, and it seemed like there were no stakes in this show. And
Yes.
I like that on one hand because I want to see Sean Spice Man in my life forever. But on the other hand, you need to feel like their
Exactly.
actions have consequences.
Right,
that they
something
matter.
can happen.
Yeah.
Although it was very satisfying to see somebody pay for what they're doing.
Sure.
But it was frustrating when the reason wasn't quite right. Like, Flynn committed treason.
yeah.
He committed treason. But he didn't get fired because of that. He got fired because, like, the press, or like, oh, he lied to the vice president.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's just the suspension of disbelief that you have to have for the show, and it makes the show better. Like, in real life, of course, a Flynn person would go to jail for treason,
Yeah.
but in the show, it's not exciting if Flynn's just in jail forever. He's off screen, we don't see him.
Right.
You want him roaming around a little bit. You know?
Causing
and
trouble.
Okay, well, now Flynn's in jail. We'll never see him again. Okay, well, now this person's in jail. Now everybody would eventually go to jail.
Right.
And then what would the show
And then we
be?
wouldn't have a show.
Right.
Yeah, we need to still be out there like an X Factor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah. What we still don't know, because the only thing we as an audience knew was that Flynn was talking to Russia. We don't know who else has been doing that in this administration, what they've been talking about. All we know is that the Russia stuff is not going away.
Right.
It's
Definitely
still-
not going away.
It's still a big part of the show, and now it's just, I think that's the story we're going to get for the rest of the season. It's going to unfold who else was involved in this.
Right. Every once in a while, there's just like something very reminiscent of like the real world, where like this. It reminds me a lot of like Nixon. Like, what did you know and when did you know it? And like that, that is echoing in the entire episode in this show. It's
And
like
that-
who knew what and when did they know it and what did they tell?
And that's the Flynn resignation thing too. He resigned before he actually
Exactly.
got busted.
Oh, you know what I would love to see, because they're already doing like, okay, this episode is only about Flynn, and that's a new kind of episode that they're doing. I would love to see like a flashback episode,
Yeah.
Oh.
like of like these people, maybe just all of Trump's time in Russia or something like that.
yeah.
That would be a great
That'd
episode.
be amazing.
The stuff from the dossier?
Exactly, like
Oh.
you see like here's the dossier episode, and you just go through all of that.
Oh,
it's HBO, so
please.
you can show some of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, we're just about out of time, so let's get into predictions for the most unpredictable show on television. Tom, what is going to happen next?
Okay, all right. Maybe we're gonna get one of these right this week.
We've never been right.
I'm thinking it's gonna be like with Flynn cast out. It's gonna be like a Walder Frey thing from Game of Thrones, where Russia's gonna swoop in and get him to like roll on his former friends and then toss them out of the White House. Like somebody's gonna get smoked. All right.
Yeah.
And Flynn's gonna be the reason why. That's what I'm saying that right now.
All right, Katie, what do you have?
Okay, well, my prediction isn't quite as bold as yours, but here's what I got. So we know that there were 4 people from the Trump campaign that had contacts with Russia, right? Yeah. So my prediction is that the other 3 are Paul Manafort, Obvi, Carter Page, and Michael Cohen.
Ooh,
The lawyer.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
He's the says who guy.
Yeah.
We're talking about the polls on the news.
know.
Says who?
Forgot about that.
Yeah,
guy.
I mean-
right. 'Cause he's in one scene last season, and then
Right. Cody, hit it.
I don't know if it's not so much a prediction, but just something I really look forward to seeing. They're telegraphing it a lot. They keep showing the lock her up chance. They showed Flynn like lock her up, and obviously like that came to bite him in the ass. But I really want to see like crowds of people chanting "Lock him up," you know, towards the end, like at Trump.
Yeah.
Like that's. It seems like that's like what they're leading toward.
There's a nice symmetry to that. If
Yeah.
that's how they close out.
And they
the
keep
season.
showing it.
They do
Why
keep
else are they
kinda
going to do
hammering
that?
it.
Yeah,
But
that's
then
true.
you don't really want the show to end with Trump in jail.
No, I want them to chant "Lock him up," and he like fucks off to Russia or something.
My prediction: we know the Russia stuff's not going away. We know it's going to be a big deal. We know they were hacking. I think we're going to keep losing members of this administration to Russia-related treason activities. And
Not incompetence, but
No.
just-
Treason. And then by the end, there's going to be one person left standing, and I don't know how it happens because I don't know how actual government works. We're going to get President Putin. Season 3, President Putin.
Now that is a bold take.
I know. But I'm trying to think like the show now is my only thing because
It's hard.
That'll drive you crazy.
I didn't think Trump was going to be president.
Right.
And they did
No.
that, so I'm like, all right, what's the second craziest thing they could do then?
Right.
I mean,
and,
it
like,
is not without possibility.
and they can't just keep treading water. You're gonna have to keep moving forward, and the show's not gonna get canceled.
No.
So
Can't
yeah.
stop watching it.
You just have
Yeah.
to keep raising the bar.
All right, thanks again for joining us. Everybody, make sure you tweet at After the Trump with the hashtag After the Trump, and why don't you let us know who you think is going to be fired next from this administration?
Yeah.
I think it's probably going to be Spice Man.
He's my last week's take. He's gonna be the cook. He's gonna be the cook.
He's getting the White House cook. Sean Spicy.
Too-
Just making a bunch of stuff out of gum. Hey, thank you so much for watching our show where we talk about the terrible news as if it were a fun show that we all love. It's therapeutic for us and hopefully for you. Make sure to like and subscribe our channel and tune in for more of this later after the Trump.